Welcome back, you guys. The M4 has had so much progress done on it in the last month or so. Today, I'm finally gonna get you caught up on where we are because this thing is about to leave to go get painted before SEMA. The days are coming really quick. SEMA is less than 2 months away. So for those who are thinking about coming this year, you better come out because this thing is gonna be display at McGuire's booth. Looking perfect. The last time you guys saw the car, I'll be honest, it pretty much looked exactly like this. But we have some differences that took a lot of time, and that mainly is the front bumpers and the rear bumpers now have all the motion sensors drilled out. And on the inside, they have been fitted with the OEM clips so we can use all the motion sensors throughout the front and the back. Once the sensor is in the car, it's gonna look just like this, so you guys know what I'm talking about. These are just the things that allow you to know where certain obstacles are when you're backing up the car. The loom had to be extended in the front because it didn't fit with the shape of the front bumper, so Calvin did his wiring job and fixed all of those things. The radiators are now mounted, which is nothing new, but we had to extend the lines on the car to get those to fit. So the lines run on either side back to the OEM mounting locations, which I do want to add. This was an absolute nightmare to do because getting these fittings to get extra ones of them required us to buy these from BMW, and I had to spend like $600 a fitting because I had to buy the whole line rather than just the fittings themselves. It was an absolute nightmare and it sucked. Also, if you notice, the oil cooler has now been relocated in the car, which was modified to fit AN fittings so we could relocate the lines to go back up to where they run, which is all the way in here. Also, you'll notice all the fabrication work that was done by Kyle has been powder coated black and it blends into the chassis, which is awesome. We have also relocated the charcoal canister that comes with the car that used to sit over here up in this corner. And then lastly, we have redone all of the air lines for the air jack system, and now they're all using one line with no union, so we have absolutely zero leaks. And now with the oil cooler mounted and the oil lines done, we can go ahead and throw oil in the car. We're gonna be using Valvoline BR1 as always. I was gonna let Dylan pour all the oil in it, but last time we did it, he spilled all over the car, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the honors. But didn't spill.
Oh my god, dude. You literally just got it.
That's actually a really big stretch. Do we not have a funnel anywhere?
Oh, you want a funnel?
Doesn't matter. I'm dedicated. How many courses is this thing gonna take?
7.4. So that's why we're doing an oil change right now. We really didn't need to, but there's no way to quantify how much oil is in there because the sensor's electronic and it doesn't show you until it's
Oh yeah, and it's one of those things we have to run the car. I hate that.
Yeah, me too. So we're just like, we know it takes 7.4, we're gonna dump it all out, put the full quantity in there.
And also too, we didn't add any coolers, so it shouldn't be any extra line. Well, technically, it's gonna take a little bit more oil because we've added line, and that's gonna sack so, but 7.4 it is. Time for some coolant. We're gonna be using some Xerox from Valvoline, of course. Now this one, I am not gonna go ahead and do a free pour because I think that I'm gonna spill this one everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead, funnel it up, baby. All right, she's topped off. We're gonna go ahead and make sure to keep an eye on all the lines because we're probably gonna have some leaks and oil leaks in a few separate places. Now this is a weird moment. I'm gonna be going in the office and I'm gonna grab the key to the car because we're gonna need it to start it. We haven't had that key out of the lockbox in probably 5 or 6 months.
Fuck me, that hurt.
Do not start, no oil. That can officially come off the car. A little mental reminder for everyone, we also have no exhaust on the car now, so when I start it, it's gonna sound really loud and it's probably not gonna sound too good. Weird sitting in this car. I haven't sat in this car in a very long time, obviously. Definitely feels weird to be back in this car. Okay, I'm probably gonna have a slew of warnings because still have a bunch of stuff unplugged, but we're just checking to see if this car starts and allows us to go in and out of gear because prior to all of this, it wouldn't let us. I don't see any leaks so far. That's a good sign. As the car cools off, I'll put more coolant in it once that thermostat opens. That's loud as hell underneath there.
We're good. We're good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive. 0 leaks. One thing we've never installed, now I guess is a good time as ever. These are the mesh plates that are for the front bumper. These are super, super rad. We also still need to install these ones too.
Oh wow, that's sick.
That's cool. You have the Hardy. Donde está the top one?
I don't know what donde estás.
That's not
That
how it goes.
that means where is.
I don't donde your lay a star.
You don't know any Spanish words.
Not
Do it
true.
again. Point at me, sir.
Wait! We can't.
Why?
Because that's where it mounts. The front bumper to the...
Oh, okay. We don't do that one.
No, we can.
But you just said we can't.
We can. I just said that to be dramatic. Cut.
It's no secret that when it comes to wiring, I'm no good. But with today's video sponsor, Solder Sticks, it makes doing the job that much easier and saves a lot of time. These are waterproof butt connectors that have solder wrapped into the heat shrink itself. So once you put your wire on it, you literally just put both the ends together, and as you heat shrink it, not only is gonna get a good seal around it that's waterproof, it's also gonna put a little bit of solder on there, making a super solid connection that can help you in a pinch. And if you're like me, you're probably doubting how strong that really is. I'm gonna demonstrate how strong of a hold this has with a gorilla that I rented from the zoo.
Strong. If you use
I can't do it. I literally can't do it. The solder sticks are TJ safe and TJ approved, and they are Dylan proof. Right now, you guys can use code TJ20 and get 20% off. That's a steal of a price considering how good of a product this is. Thank you, Solder Stick, for being a sponsor of today's video, and now let's get back to it.
God, we have a lot of hardy to do.
Look at this. It comes for these.
They're not those. All this hardware is tight.
I have no idea what this is. Protecting grill. Doesn't tell me much.
That's what I thought.
But it doesn't really look like it lines up very well.
100% that's it.
Well, we're not gonna run that. It doesn't go to anything.
Oh, there's a duct that goes in, and it kind of just
You're right.
sandwiches it there. You know what you can do? 3M tape. Keep me away from your towel, because I'll make it real wet, because I'm wet. Is water wet? No, I am.
Should I modify this, or are you saying we put this on after the fact?
No, go look at the car. Go look at the car. Go hold it up to the car. Go hold it. Oh!
Oh, you want to just put it through it.
Wait, no, it goes like this. Oh, that'll be fine.
Where's the hardware for
Forgot
this?
to put on deodorant. The only reason I'm conscious is because I'm used to it.
Is this the hardware? I lost it.
We need a deodorant sponsor. Please sponsor TJ. I'm gonna leave you to your own devices, like I left all my Twitch children in the fridge.
They're still there.
Preserved. It's called cryo.
Like Walt Disney.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
alive for sure.
Walt Disney's alive for sure.
For sure.
Well,
for
maybe
sure.
not alive, but his body's definitely like.
No, they're for
perfect.
sure. No, for sure.
It's not finished. It's just like a little bit of tape. I have to trim more, but
Yeah, baby, let's go.
I'm
Close
gonna
it.
I'm
Close it.
gonna be honest.
Like from afar, you know.
It was a ton of guesswork.
All right, what's the next day? What's going on?
We're focusing on putting the front end back together. Actually, we're focusing on putting everything back together. It seems some things that got powder coated almost got warped a little bit. So Dylan and I have been here for the past 2 hours just off camera, just trying to like get things to fit back in their places, just doing some last minute trim jobs and making sure that all the wiring and all the new hoses don't interfere with the bumper setup. Thing looks really good. Again, now that things got repowder coated, everything that was hard mounted is now like has to be like set into its new location and really like tighten everything down so it doesn't shift. That's essentially what we're doing.
That's the lowest.
Do something else. Something's flexing.
Could any of the fenders gotten shifted? Like, it fit fine last time.
So if we put this back, the NACA duct in the center should press up on the center of the hood, and then hopefully when we latch the sides down, bow it to fit on the fender better. It's all trial and error.
That's fine, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna tighten it. Here, remove it one more time.
Oh!
Fuck, is that this size?
To everybody that thinks I hate Dylan,
Yeah.
I do. To everybody that thinks Dylan hates me, he does. I fucking hated that. TJ, Dylan's dad did it again.
We're just trimming more and more. We trimmed minimal the first time, so we're just sectioning off. But we don't want to take too much time. If you come look at the other side.
Oh yeah.
So this will all be black. Everything will be black in here. That way it'll kind of like visually have no end point, hopefully. And then the wheel, the way the suspension cycles, it'll never come past this point anyways. So if you kind of can envision the ride height, that's the most compressed it's gonna be. This is all done. We're just gonna finish that side out. Calvin's putting the wheel speed sensors together in the front, and then we're gonna put the diffuser on. We'll know the side skirts back are done, and tackle the front together. Wow, what a nice, beautifully laser cut, CNC'd, computer designed, powder coated, unnecessary mount that I'm gonna modify.
Because why? Let them know.
Basically, I have a little bit of
Copyright.
I tweak out on stuff. I have a little bit of OCD. This gap should be perfectly flush and straight, and if it doesn't, it just looks wonky when it's down like this. So to adjust it, to hold it where it's supposed to be, I just have to adjust this mount, and then it'll be perfect.
I've done this process of making sure everything's plugged in like 7 times. Still's not plugged in. We figured out that what was unplugged and giving us the worst code was the wheel speed sensor. When this car sits and everything's unplugged, you just forget what goes where. So Dylan, deductive reasoning, figured out that this was in here, and I was like, I don't know what that goes through. Took the connector off and I pushed it through. So now we should be able to clear that code, and it's just a mission of turn on the car, see what's broken, what it's telling us, and then chase that, and then repeat.
Assuming that the tire had some room to clear, I gave it extra with those dots. And then that dot above, it touched at the bottom dot, but my dot at the top is a guess as far as when we have our proper ride height. So even if I went an inch or two past that and then rolled it in there, so if I started that corner right there, rolled it out, went on the top dot, down to the bottom dot, and all the way down, that's probably the best trim we're gonna have. And we still have all the roll that we care about, this section.
Tire's out more, it's gonna hide it more. All right, let's cut it.
One of the major changes we still need to make to this car is a completely new suspension setup. Now, as you guys know, we currently have a set of coilovers on the car right now, but what the problem is, because we have a street chassis, G82 M4, and we are now putting on a GT3 body, the fender arches are a lot higher than what the stock car is. You can literally see the stock wheel well, like we cut the body off, but literally goes to about right here. So even if you were to slam this car on a stock coilover setup, you're only gonna get it to about this low. Now, there's no coilovers out there that go lower than what a factory body line would be. So we had to reach out to our friends over at Olin's, and they were able to help make a brand new setup that is custom for our car. Dylan took the measurements and sent them to Olin's so they can make us pretty much a shorter coilover that still has all the compression ratios and rebounds. I don't know what
We let them pick their spring rates, pick the compression ratio, the rebound, all the adjustability. That was on Olin's. Thank you, Eric at Olin's. All I did was give him full compression, full droop from where our top control arm almost hits our frame rail. I give us a little bit of buffer zone. It's just a shorter, better engineered coilover for this specific chassis. It's as low as we can get out of any coilover. Yeah, the adjusters are easy to reach. The top is converted to a Heim from a pillow ball.
We've been working with Olin's on the past few cars, and this is definitely a really cool project that I was super stoked they were able to take on. While Dylan is finishing cutting up the front, I'm gonna go ahead and start swapping out. You're just glued to this, Dylan. You're like watching it like.
Yeah, dude, I am. It's a really hot product. It's just everything's engineered and everything's machined and CNC'd, and the O on the side, the shock body size for how small it is still.
I'm gonna go ahead and install it now.
We're all sick of lock collars.
Whoa.
Yeah, but look at this. I'm not tired of that.
Wow.
Spanner wrenches suck. A little remote resi.
Dude.
That is just weird.
Some people don't have arms, okay? I have arms and legs.
For free, cow?
For free?
For free?
You're putting it for free.
And you stick the bolt into it. Yeah, zero regard for safety. It's not zero. I'm not gonna say it's a lot, but it's not zero.
We just got the new coilover in, or the new strut in, and this is how much it compresses. Like, keep in mind, the older setup, literally, like, the top of the rotor was, like, here. This is what we were talking about on how we're gonna get this kit to look a little bit nicer. Is now, imagine a wheel being centered here. Now our fender gap's probably gonna be like that, which again, that's what this car's gonna look like. This car is not gonna be tucking tire. It's not gonna look like some hot boy Randy Eliminate Street Hunter Supra that he's giving away. Shout out to you, Randy. It's not gonna look like that. It's gonna look like a GT3 car. So there is going to be a 3 to 4 inch gap. That is what you have to do to make this thing work, unless we like Bondo in a bunch of fiberglass here to fill this gap. So that is exactly what we asked Olin's to do, and that was all because of the power of Olin's and the power of Dylan, because Dylan took the right measurements and was able to communicate with him to get exactly what we wanted. So that's just really cool. This is really cool. I'm really stoked on that. Now, with this compressed all the way, we're gonna take a measurement of how much is left over, and we're gonna send over that measurement so they can make us a new spring, because as you can see, we're still missing the actual spring that we typically would have, because if we were to put this spring in, it would stop before we can even get that high. So we're gonna give them that new measurement, and they're gonna make us a custom spring, and we'll have a one-of-one setup for this car. It's gonna be super rad. Our job's done. I know the car still looks like it's having a crisis. If this thing were painted, the wheel wells were painted, if the proper wheels and tires were on, and the ride height was set, well, and if the exhaust was done, which is Magniflow is gonna be doing for us, then she's done. We haven't had all the pieces hard mounted with like, we've never had it like this. Every time we've shown it in a video, certain pieces have been done, but everything's done. So for the first time, we're gonna lower it on all the wheel stands, and we're gonna try to take it off the lift, because first thing tomorrow morning, this thing goes to Magniflow. I'm exhausted, I'm really excited, but this thing's finally done.
Harness out.
Still okay. Yeah, you're fine. One more. We've had the tape over the headlights the whole entire time.
Calvin even extended the wiring harness. We were like, well, we really hope it works.
Ooh, that's tight.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my god. Wow.
The next time you're gonna see this car, it should be revealing at SEMA. Obviously, the car is completely half carbon, half paint. We have an idea up our sleeve for SEMA. We're gonna try and pull it off. It's gonna be gone for the next 45 days. Let's hope we make it. To let the story be continued. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know a lot of you have missed this car, and so have we. Man, am I excited to see that bay with nothing on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out, and keep moving forward. Instead of forcing it, and then that way we can leave the other side the exact same. Everything fits how it's supposed to. It's not pressured, it's not forced. It looks uniform to the side skirt. What the hell was that? This car's always making weird ass noises.